A federal ban on hemp-derived products is set to kick in 1 year from now. That impacts products like THC-infused drinks or edibles. Marijuana isn't legal in Wisconsin, but these hemp-derived products were legalized at the federal level in 2018. And that's why over the last 7 years, you've probably seen a lot more of these on the corner, or these at your local gas station. But they'll be banned again in November 2026, and Wisconsin state lawmakers are ready to act, proposing new regulations. But before we get too far into that, you may be wondering, what even is a hemp-derived product? Well, here's the breakdown. Farmers grow cannabis, and that's the plant. If it has a concentration of over 0.3% in weight of delta-9 THC, it becomes marijuana. Anything lower than that, and it's hemp. Marijuana is illegal in Wisconsin. Hemp is currently legal in Wisconsin. So that's why you're seeing drinks or edibles infused with delta-9 THC in them in Wisconsin. That's all legal. And delta-9 THC is the main psychoactive ingredient of that cannabis plant. So when hemp-derived products became legal in 2018, farmers began producing, including right here in Wisconsin.
We established ourselves in 2019, and from there it was slow moving, but we've grown pretty quickly, rapidly, and have a pretty well-established, recognized business in this landscape with probably about close to 200 retailers that we distribute to.
That's Craig Thran, owner and founder of Three Tall Pines in Plymouth. He grows hemp, produces the products, and distributes them to retailers, and employs about 30.
Grew up on an apple orchard, and I've appreciated farmers and farming in that sense my whole life. To be able to afford employees to help do what we love, I mean, that just brings us up over the edge. I mean, that's what makes life enjoyable.
Like any other farmer, he grows cannabis seasonally outdoors or year-round in greenhouses. He and his 30 employees harvest it, dry it, cure it, process it, and then turn it into a raw material. In the case of a delta-9 THC-infused drink or edible you'll find at a store, that's isolated from the plant. It's sent to a lab for testing to make sure the products can be labeled accurately, and then packaged and distributed.
We want to handle everything from farming to producing to manufacturing to then packaging, warehousing, and then handing that product over to the customer that we sold that to. And in most cases, it's next day for us.
It then lands with retailers, which is where concerns land about who can access the product. And lawmakers like Rob Swearingen from R-Rhinelander say more regulation is needed.
That's number one, is for safety, we have to make it eligible at 21 years old.
Some retailers, like the Dispensary in Appleton, who also produces some of their products, testify that they self-regulate.
I mean, the biggest thing they push is that it's being sold to children, that this is marketed towards children, and there's definitely bad actors out there. That's with like any sort of business. But strictly here, we're 21 plus, we're always checking IDs, we self-regulate on that rule, and also all our packaging, it's gonna strictly be just for the basic product itself. We're not gonna put anything flashy on it, we don't make it gummies that are like gummy worms, we don't make it chips or anything like that.
But not all self-regulate, and that's partly why it's become such a hot topic. A lack of regulations on age minimums, labeling, and potency. Lawmakers and many producers alike support an age minimum and some new industry standards for buying THC products. But from there, how to regulate becomes complicated. And that's why state lawmakers are acting to propose new regulations in addition to the ones producers say they already face.
Packaging requirements, Weights and Measures has that. USDA requires certain things. The FDA requires certain things. I mean, just in a standard packaging principle, there's already guidelines out there, and we're all following that in this industry.
But lawmakers say more is needed. Here's what legislation is on the table in Wisconsin. The first is a bill to ban hemp-derived products like these THC drinks or edibles. The state essentially would codify the pending federal ban. That was proposed by Representative Lindy Brill. The second was proposed by Representative Rob Swearingen of Rhinelander. His bill would allow THC, but with regulations. And the third is from Senator Patrick Teston of Stevens Point. His bill would also allow THC, but with some restrictions. Swearingen and Teston's proposals both include a minimum age of 21 and maximum THC concentrations on the products, and Swearingen's includes a three-tiered system that separates producers, distributors, and retailers.
Well, three-tier exists for several reasons, right? Safety, again, is the first thing. Second of all, the excise taxes on these products. And it'd be taxed through the wholesaler level, which is very standard. And that, again, that's why three-tier exists.
That's what's in place for the alcohol industry, so he says it makes sense with another intoxicant. He says it's also the easiest way to regulate for safety, but it also could hurt hemp producers.
The three-tier system would probably knock 80 to 90% of our business out. We will have to live here and choose Do I farm? Can I afford to sell what I produce? Because there's the second tier middleman that distributes. As a farmer, I will not be able to be a distributor. I can no longer distribute my own goods. I'll have to have another entity that I use, which will take a cut, 20 to 30%, and then that gets sold to a retailer. So you will have to choose whether I will be licensed as a farmer, as a distributor, or a retailer, and I cannot own two or more of those tiers.
There'd be a hefty tax on products, and oversight from the State Alcohol Division would include oversight on THC. THC retailers would have to get licenses, and those with alcohol licenses already would be grandfathered in. Multiple producers raised concerns about the bill benefiting alcohol interests, as Swearingen previously served as president of the Tavern League. Do you see it as a conflict of interest?
No. I was a Tavern League president 14 years ago. I used to be in the restaurant business. I'm no longer in the restaurant business. So, I mean, that's we're all citizen legislators. All of us have outside jobs or had outside jobs. Sure, hospitality was my background. You know, whether it was tourism or alcohol. So that's always been my background. So to me, no, there's definitely no interest. And again, I was Tavern League president 14 years ago.
Both his bill and Teston's proposal would include an age minimum. That's supported by many in the industry.
That's number one, is for safety, we have to make it eligible at 21 years old.
You need to be selling to 21.
But strictly here, we're 21 plus. We're always checking IDs. We self-regulate on that rule.
They'd also limit potency, so you can't put an unlimited amount of THC in a product. And they'd set standards for labeling and marketing. The age minimum and potency and labeling standards supported by various producers we talked with. The ban or the three-tiered system, that's a different story.
Well, definitely right now our main approach to this is lobbying, definitely getting our legal teams out to kind of speak with members of Congress, locally as well as federally. I know for us, nothing we have to change business specifically, so still going as is, as normal. But definitely, we're pretty hopeful that things will change before then, just with, of course, how many businesses are going to be affected.
Thousands of jobs in Wisconsin would be impacted with a full ban. Both sides agree some regulation is needed, but where exactly is that line? Lawmakers have a year to sort it out. For Fox 11 Investigates, I'm David Go.